We're live.
We're live? All right.
Live.
This week on the Media Virus Podcast, cows crash Bucks County suburbs. Locals say, move over, Karen. Pope checks out on 420 Easter. Vatican investigates holy smoke overdose. And Belgium's Easter beer hunt, because Jesus would totally shotgun a stout.
Shut up and sit down.
It's the Media Virus Podcast. Now here's your infection team.
Oh, we are live streaming from our own deranged corner of the internet, where the headlines are twisted, the jokes are questionable, and the hosts are definitely not qualified. This is the show where no topic is off limits, no punchline is too inappropriate, and nobody leaves without learning, or at least catching something. Whether you're here for the chaos, the comedy, or just because your life choices have taken a dark turn. Welcome to the Media Virus Podcast. Let's point and laugh as the world is burning around us. Oh, so I thought it was just going to stop.
Yeah, that always tricks me there too. I forgot I left that there on purpose so that you can get in there and stop it. But
Good.
Oh, good.
Because we had a little kerfuffle issue off the air where I didn't know if you heard it. Did you hear it, Mike?
When your Spotify just started
Playing the show
last week's C Block, yeah,
you heard it.
yeah.
It's all I could hear.
That
Wow.
on top of you sleeping in. Wow, what a day.
Yeah, I accidentally. I tried to take like a half-hour power nap before the show, and I set an alarm, but
We love a 90-minute sleep.
yeah, that's pretty much what it was. Yeah, yeah, make fun of me. I really appreciate that. That's but over the at a recent family function, we were on the topic of Easter and religion and
Jesus in them.
Jesus and them, yeah. And my mother-in-law was telling a story, allegedly, about a family member rolling up that to Catholic mass, smelling like Snoop Dogg's tour bus, and it got me to thinking. Now,
Brother?
I'm no biblical scholar. Shout out to the Reverend Professor Mike Litoris for his theological credentials, but I don't remember the Bible saying anything about the prohibition of marijuana. There's wine, oil, burning bushes, lots of fire and herbs, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And it got 420 was on Easter this year.
Both Easters. The Greek one and the regular one.
Oh my God! So that
came together this year.
So I did a little digging. Turns out there are Christian sects that sects. It's hard to get.
Nobody thought you said sex, babe.
Okay, but it's hard to get like when you're talking to like speech to text.
Sure.
I was wondering,
That you.
The whole Christian, you put the image in my head. I'm like, Christian sex, exactly where is
It's
that?
like a sheet with a hole in it. No, but they use some of them use cannabis in ritual. Some Rastafari traditions, some Gnostic offshoots, even a few rogue Catholic youth groups who just never stop hotboxing for Jesus. But real talk, there's a group that believes that the holy anointing oil that used by Jesus had cannabis in it.
It was a hemp oil, in other words.
Right. Well, yeah, which, means the original disciples, they might have been rolling joints in the upper rooms, not just praying,
It would have made sense, though, because they were cultivating and processing hemp at that point.
Right. I mean, no wonder they were speaking in tongues, But then, and then, as if all that wasn't defining enough, like the Pope died.
I know, man.
Dude, Easter 420, the Pope is dead. I'm not saying 420 killed the Pope.
Well, they just
but I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that either.
There's that Conclave movie that's not been out for that long.
Yeah. Anyways, to help break this all down from blunt smoke to papal smoke, Let's check in with the one man stoned enough to tell the truth and ordained enough to get away with it. The Reverend Professor Mike Litoris.
Wow. Boy, oh boy. Thank you, Brother Rockdef. Let's start with the holiest of tokes. While the faithful were rolling away the stone, some faithful were rolling something else. Across the globe, Easter Sunday became a hybrid holiday. He is risen, and so is this joint. In Portland, a church service turned into a blazing praise drag brunch. Yes, the body of Christ came with bottomless mimosas and a DJ remixing Ave Maria with Drop It Like It's Hot.
Oh, goodness.
One of the queens reportedly did the Stations of the Cross in 6-inch heels and edible glitter.
Could you imagine? Can you imagine watching Stations of the Cross in 6-inch heels and edible glitter?
A drag queen in
a drag queen doing Stations of the Cross, I think would be.
Go ahead, girl.
Right, I think it'd be fun to watch. Anyway, go ahead.
Meanwhile, in Denver, the International Church of Cannabis is converting souls and stoners under psychedelic murals. Their beyond meditation experience involves staring into the eyes of a painted Jesus while high enough to see the second coming. Over in Antigua,
I'd go to that. Like, dude, if they're like, listen, well, this basically, what do you guys do? Like, how do you guys go to church? Oh, this is what we do, right? We get so fucking high, we stare at this picture of Jesus. And I'm like, you get really fucking high. Yeah. You stare at this picture of Jesus, and it fucking tells you shit. It tells you shit? Dude, it fucking tells you. It's really good weed, right? And he's, yeah, dude, it fucking tells, dude, the painting talks to you. That's how good this fucking weed is. All right, let's go. Would you not do that?
I'd have to check it out at least once.
At least once a Sunday.
Not once a Sunday.
At least once a Sunday. All right, so where we go?
Over in Antigua and Barbuda, they're letting Rastafarians grow their own spiritual supply on former sugar plantations. That's a hell of a plot twist from slavery to sacred sativa. The U.S. Virgin Islands also legalized cannabis for both recreational and religious use. Tourists can now take a spiritual journey and a cruise, all without leaving their beach chair or their blunt.
That just remembers. When we went to Jamaica, I think I was able to score an 8th on Wednesday.
That's scandalous.
Yeah.
On Wednesday, I went to fucking Jamaica and didn't score until 3 days later.
Yeah.
Well, you had to like see who was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they could like lose their jobs. It was like just post COVID, like 2021.
Right.
So like they were like we couldn't like leave. Like they were just like everybody was afraid.
Yeah, everything was kind of off kilter, but I found a cool hotel guy who they don't have like Ziploc bag. He just handed me like a tissue.
Yeah.
With buds in it. And see, I had some papers so I could roll a joint. But it was so sticky. It was like lamb's bread, dude. I'm hoping it was lamb's bread. Or lamb's breath. I don't know which one it's.
Anyways.
But you couldn't grind it. It just, go ahead. We're still going in the middle of the script.
Yeah, but it's not all chill vibes and divine vibes. In North Carolina, a pastor and his son were running a weed and shrooms ring out of their church. When reached for comment, the pastor said, "Judge not, lest ye be lit." Meanwhile, in Oakland, a psychedelic church is suing the city for the right to use cannabis and mushrooms in their rituals. They claim it's religious freedom. I claim it's the first time communion has ever involved talking to a sandwich for 45 minutes. And finally, in what can only be described as heavenly timing, Pope Francis passed away on Easter Monday, just a day after 420. He made his final public appearance on Easter Sunday, smiling and waving like a man who knew what was coming.
Aww.
The Vatican had even accidentally published his obituary early, which I guess makes it the first time they ever got ahead of a scandal.
Dude, I had a fight with Bite and explained to him the Pope was fucking dead.
Aw.
He would not. He's like, no, they screwed up. I'm like, yeah, I understand they screwed up. He's dead, though. He's still dead. Though you can't report that he's not dead.
Right.
I saw that like right when I woke up, like 6:30 a.m. on Monday, and it said something about dying at like 7 a.m. and I was like, it's not even 7 a.m. And then I remembered it's not. We don't live in Rome.
No, we don't. It's
Right.
all, halfway across the world, or a quarter at least. Quarter of the way across the world.
Quarter.
All right. Did we finish up?
We're getting there. Reports say the Pope died peacefully in his Vatican residence after a stroke and cardiac arrest. He was 88 years old and had been battling multiple health conditions. But let's be honest, after watching the church survive millennia of chaos, maybe he just wanted to leave before the next TikTok trend hit the altar.
Oh, jeez.
Rest in peace, Holy Father. May your soul rise like incense, and if anyone upstairs is holding, we know where you'll be. I'm the Reverend Professor Mike Litoris, and this has been your sacrilegious smoke break on TMVP News. Back to you, Maddie. May your bud be blessed and your communion wafer taste like Funyuns.
Ooh.
Dude, communion wafer that tasted like Funyuns.
Give me that.
Dude, if you
I'll
just
take two.
if we smoked weed and ate Funyuns, that's how I worship now. That's my church. Dude, that's our church.
Stop, because I'm literally ordering groceries. I'll get Funyuns so fast.
Get Funyuns. The fuck are you not getting Funyuns for?
Oh, I love Funyuns. Your breath it'd be cooking after, but they're so
Hey,
cool.
man, they're Funyuns. All right, well, there's other Easter shenanigans out there.
Is that so?
Yeah, there's eggs, elephants, and escapes. The Easter aftermath.
Broadcasting live from TMVP, this is your roving Reverend of Ridiculousness, Professor Mike Litoris, with your post-Easter roundup. Buckle up, Maddie, because this basket's brimming with more than just chocolate. Belgium's Brood Awakening. In Belgium, the Easter Bunny traded his carrots for hops, the world's biggest beer hunt. Wow.
Trade his carrots for hops.
The world's biggest beer hunt had folks foregoing eggs in favor of frothy brews because nothing says he has risen like I am tipsy.
It's the 5th annual Easter event at the Hours Gardens in Lashner, Belgium. Saw over 1,000 registered hunters searching the grounds for 12,000 hidden beers. So wait a minute. You go and you could possibly get 12 beers or 10 beers each, right? 12 beers each.
Yeah.
Or if you're really good, you can get 12,000 beers and kick everybody's ass. Hidden among the beers were special golden bottles, which earned a finder a prize of his weight in beer. Next year, we're in, dude. The event began on Sunday with a chocolate egg hunt for children at noon. And then the beer hunt commenced at 12. That's my kind of place, at 12:30, and a barbecue at 1:30. You got an hour to find beers. We had a second shot on Monday, but we missed that too. All right. What's next, Mike?
Well, there's been a cow conundrum in Bucks County. In Bucks County, Pennsylvania, 25 young cows decided to take a movement of their own, escaping Curly Hill Farm and roaming the suburbs. Residents were utterly shocked to find bovine visitors at their doorsteps. One cow was even caught on a Ring camera, perhaps auditioning for America's Got Talents.
Really, the only reason this story is here is, one, Erica loves cows.
They're so cute.
But I was kind of hoping that they were the Highland cows. They're not. They're just regular Holsteins. And speaking,
the regular milk, chocolate milk cows.
Yeah, regular cow from the Bronx. But
Thanks, babe.
Just to kind of move, I want to move to the next one because that's Erica's favorite animal.
The Elephant Earthquake Ensemble.
Oh, what happened?
At the San Diego Zoo Safari Park, elephants demonstrated their seismic savvy by forming an alert circle during a recent earthquake. Who knew pachyderms were so pachyderma?
I don't even think it was during it. It was like right before, wasn't it?
Yeah, they could feel it, and they saved the not save the babies, but they protect the young ones.
Yeah,
Here they
They-
come.
Yeah, no, it's coming.
Look at the screen. It's shook.
They move to open area, and then they close a circle around the younger ones.
It's so cute.
But if you watch them, they're turning around to make sure that whatever the danger is, they know which way it's coming from.
Yeah.
So they think.
Well,
But
two of Erica's favorite animals. We have pictures of cows and elephants all over the fucking house. We have, dude, elephants. You've been to my house, right?
yeah,
How many elephant tchotchkes did you see while you were here?
Stop. Don't be a hater.
I really thought about it, but I like elephants myself.
Elephants are cool. That's but the only reason.
Listen, I love a tchotchke and I love an animal.
She does love a tchotchke.
I love it.
You know, speaking of tchotchkes, skip the next story, Mike. Let's talk about the New Orleans creepy.
Hold on, real quick. They there's Highland cows in Pennsylvania. I sent you a link and I said you can take me, and you didn't respond to it. And so maybe I'll send it to the group chat, and maybe Big Daddy or Mike or something will take me.
All right.
Well, in New Orleans, the crew of Krampus added a spooky twist to Easter with their annual creeps hunt, hiding over 100 creepy themed eggs around the city.
What's a creepy?
Because nothing says Happy Easter like a one-eyed monster peeking out of your shrubbery.
You got a one-eyed monster picking out of my shrubbery. I'll tell you that much. I stood in front of the bus for you for that one, Mike.
Yeah.
That was Mike's joke last night, and I ripped it off because I didn't want him to have to deal with it. And then we can go to the Massachusetts teen. Did you hear about this?
The Massachusetts teen?
A message in a bottle from a Massachusetts teen in 1976 washed up in the Bahamas.
Oh wow.
The note read, "Please respond."
Mm.
I don't know.
What weird.
I know. And then
Sounds
the
like
last,
the longest wait for a text reply
Right.
in history.
right? There we go. The last,
Met Police's excruciating decision across the pond. The Metropolitan Police faced backlash for organizing an Easter egg hunt for officers amidst rising crime rates. Critics argue that perhaps the force should focus on catching criminals than chocolate.
Okay. Literally do anything else besides that.
officers employed at the Emperor State Building in West London, which includes teams specializing in organized crime and counter-terror, are being offered the activity on Tuesday. Staff from any level of the building, including non-police partner agencies, are free to attend the hunt, but children are not welcome. We don't want you little bastards running around.
It'd be like that sometimes.
You know what I mean?
Stop always bringing y'all kids.
It's been advertised to staff through posters on display throughout the 31-story building. Former Met Police Detective Peter Blexley told Mail Online the decision was ludicrous and made for terrible optics for a police force under pressure to increase crime solving rates.
Mm.
Yeah, so I thought that was.
He said, "Let them play."
We don't want you little bastards around here. All right, this is police business. Finding chocolate Easter eggs, you fuck.
Don't touch my chocolate.
Don't touch my chocolate, you son of a bitch. Well, they probably sound more British than that.
Probably, yeah.
They probably don't sound like a Southern lawman or a Southwestern lawman. You know,
Touch my choky.
it's pip, pip.
Not pip
You
pip.
little bastards.
You're not good at this.
Go
at
home to
all.
your cunt mothers. Like that.
Yeah, you're not good at that accent whatsoever.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Because I don't need to be.
Because I'm from America.
I'm from America. We don't have to worry about that shit.
Silly little sluts.
Yeah, something.
There are. It is thought that people who like Shakespearean. If you read Shakespeare, read it in a Southern accent, it makes more sense.
Shakespeare and them?
Shakespeare makes more sense in a Southern accent.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be honest, the Southern draw is based. It's honestly based on an English accent that's kind of
Longer.
long. Yeah, it's twisted out. Yeah.
Well,
that's all for today's eccentric escapades.
Remember, whether it's cows on the run or elephants on alert, the world keeps spinning, and so do we at TMVP. Back to you, Matty Rockdeff.
Schmatty schmack schmaff.
There. Hey, Schmatty Schmack Chef. Hey, Chef.
Schmatty schmack schmaff.
So, I don't know. I was saying something. I forget what it was.
Not important.
No, it's not.
You weren't going to tell me about that time you banged your cousin, are you?
No.
Okay, Kanye.
No. No. But Kanye West drops a cousin confession in a new track.
Giving blowies.
Is that what he's doing?
Yeah, he's blowing his cousin.
Wasn't he even taking it in the can?
No.
Taking the ass like a real man.
So listen, I didn't like. I'm sure that there is somebody that's going to read it, but just to interrupt, I think that Kanye was 14 and the cousin was like 8, and Kanye was doing.
So Kanye was the aggressor. He said, "My 8-year-old cousin molested me when I was 14."
No, I do think that it was both of them, but like just everything that I've like all the headlines rather, because I haven't like read the headlines.
No, you're a headline girly. We know
I'm
that.
a headline girly.
Yeah.
It was giving that Kanye was 12 and he was 8.
That's not. I don't. That's.
I mean 14. What did I say? 12? I meant 14.
Well, that's worse.
That's. I mean,
feel.
that's kind of. But like, I think I'm wrong because the comments that I read, like nobody's really saying that.
When I was 14, my 8-year-old cousin molested me.
Right. It was something about they saw magazines like that, because I mean this is obviously like the 80s, like there's fucking Playboys everywhere
In the woods. Yeah.
Right. And so something about his dad had Playboys or something, but then in a closet or somewhere there was other magazines that were not women. And they would copy what was happening in the magazines. Don't we have somebody that has this information? I'm not the news source.
Well, Mike's got the story.
I have a story here.
We have a story.
Yeezy's back, and this time he brought family trauma to the studio because who needs therapy when you have auto-tune? Kanye dropped a track where he says his cousin was sexually abused, and apparently the best way to honor that dark chapter was to wrap it in an 808 beat and sell it for $1.29. Nothing says I care like monetizing a family member's sexual trauma. If this music thing doesn't work out, Kanye could always ghostwrite for Lifetime docuseries. And because, of course, this happened, Boozy Badass and ASAP Ferg applaud Kanye for speaking his truth. Boozy Badass and ASAP Ferg have come to praise Kanye because when you're the type of cousin people warn kids about, you definitely see this as brave. These guys said Ye's being vulnerable. I say he's being very Kanye. There's a fine line between truth teller and trauma DJ, and Kanye's out here moonwalking across it in bedazzled Yeezy slides. But speaking of beating the odds, Post Malone beats X in a custody battle.
Race. I love that. I just wanted to talk about this headline. You ready? Here it comes. Go ahead, Mike.
Did he just say it?
No, go ahead.
Let's just go through the TMZ headline, shall we? Post Malone beats X. Sounds about right, but wait for it. Post Malone beats X in custody battle. That's less of a headline and more of a confusing indictment of family court system. And then we get to the real kicker. Post Malone beats X in custody battle, race to file. Aha, it was a race. He wasn't abusive. He was just fast with paperwork. filing in Utah, where he resides, and maintains 50-50 custody of the child with his ex that lives in the People's Republic of California. So congrats to Posty for being the Usain Bolt of legal filings. Nothing says Father of the Year like springing to a Utah courthouse with a vape in one hand and a baby in the other. Meanwhile, speaking of being two different people, Justin Bieber kind at Coachella coffee shop after yelling at photogs.
Oh, I saw this video.
So let me get this straight. Bieber screams at the paparazzi like a methy alley raccoon, then strolls into Coachella Cafe and tips the barista like he's on a redemption tour. It's almost like he's tired of being bothered by people and It's almost like he's tired of being bothered by people he didn't hire to kiss his ass. Bieber was a jerk to people who chased him down for a photo, but a sweetheart to the ones who served him coffee. This ain't news. This is everyday dude on Yelp who writes, "Food was great, but the waitress looked at me weird. 2 stars."
No, I mean, I kind of told Bite, like, where to go, like what with why, because why is this news?
Yeah,
the man went to Coachella. Okay, he did drugs at Coachella. There's evidence of him acting very strangely at Coachella.
Okay.
Who cares? That's what people do at Coachella. They act weird and do drugs. Okay. And then he's like, I want to go get some coffee. So he's taking a walk to get some coffee. And while he's going to get some, his intention is to go interact with a human being to buy fucking coffee.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to interact with 17 human beings because you want a fucking picture of him.
They wanted to chase him down and,
right.
Okay.
be obstructive in his life.
I saw the video. I don't know what this story has to do with drugs and if they're just trying to be funny.
No, there was a different, but go ahead.
But he was just walking towards the coffee shop and everybody's like taking pictures and he's like, you guys just leave me alone. Like, I'm just getting coffee. Like, this isn't, can we stop? And they were just like all up in his business. And he's like, you guys are so greedy. You guys just want money. And he kept saying money, 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 money. That's all you guys care about. And that's all it was. He didn't fight nobody. Like, it's just an annoying thing. He's just trying to like live. And it's like, okay, you got the picture. Fucking, can I go get coffee now? I'm a celebrity sympathizer when it comes to paparazzi.
Absolutely. I mean,
also, I looked up the article about Kanye. It was until he was 14. I don't know the age difference between him and the cousin, but he said that the cousin was 6 when this started and that the magazines were on in his mom's closet and they would reenact what they saw in the magazines. And also the cousin's like in jail right now. They're like, oh, I'm not going to say who it was, but he has a cousin that's in jail for killing a pregnant lady and he's still in jail.
Oh.
And so that's annoying because it's like, we just have to see who it is. It'll take 5 seconds. There's probably people that already know.
there probably are.
You're distracted.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The guest is hitting me up here. The guest we have lined up next.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. He said he has a laptop with no headphones and a phone with headphones. Which should he go with? I'm gonna tell him. I'm telling him the phone.
Please.
All right. And the only little last piece of housekeeping we need to take care of, Mike, is do you read it about Diddy?
Yeah, the Diddy trial not delayed. Judge says, let's dance now.
Ooh.
That's right. The judge ruled that Diddy's federal trial will move forward on schedule because apparently the only thing worse than a hip-hop mogul with $1 billion and a yacht full of NDAs is a judge with a calendar.
Mm.
This means Diddy's legal team is now officially stuck doing the Harlem Shake of damage control. 1 minute it's delay tactics, the next it's take that from a federal prosecutor. You got to wonder if his defense will just be him yelling, can't stop, won't stop, until the bailiff tackles him. That's all for now. From the front lines of ridiculousness, I'm the Reverend Professor Mike Litoris, reminding you that fame is fleeting, trauma is trending, and apparently parenting is a race. Back to you, Maddie, before I get subpoenaed.
All right. Well, that's for us. I'm sorry. I got two lines up right now. It's driving me nuts. Just to wind it, Mike.
Yeah, I'll take it from here.
You got it.
Let me in here to make sure that I can have that at my. Here we go. All right. And coming up next on the Media Virus podcast, we're diving deep into the green mean wellness machine with Jesse Janafra, the mastermind behind Padana Organics in Wilmington, Delaware. Forget sketchy gas station CBD and snake oil scams. Jesse's slinging real deal cannabis solutions for sleep, pain, focus, and all the bullshit life throws your way. We're talking minor cannabinoids, entourage effects, and why your grandma's probably swapping her chamomile tea for a THC tincture. Will federal legalization save the day or let big weed steamroll the little guys? Stick around to find out, because this combo is going to hit harder than a bong rip at a Rastafari revival. Don't touch that dial, you heathens. Jesse's dropping knowledge, and we're all getting schooled. This episode of the Media Virus Podcast is brought to you by 302-46 Voice. That's 302-46 Voice. If you want my voice on your project, dial 302-46 Voice today. Don't forget to check out our sister show on the Media Virus Podcast Network, Stepmoms Without Children. Join Ricky Rockdeff as she takes a deep dive into the fascinating people she meets and thinks that you should meet too. Find Stepmoms Without Children at themediavirus.com. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your fine podcasts. Special thanks to mysportsreports.com and delawaresports.com, delivering regional sports coverage straight to your devices via stream and podcast. Learn more at mysportsreports.com and delawaresports.com. If you wish to sponsor the Media Virus Podcast, email your contact information to pml@themediavirus.com with the subject line sponsor, or leave us a message at 646-VIRUS-01. On behalf of the infection team and our feckless leader, Maddie Rockdeff, I'm the Reverend Professor Mike Litoris, coming from to you live high atop Uncle Butch Studios, with one hand firmly on the pulse and the other clawing for a shred of sanity. This has been the Media Virus Podcast. We'll be back next week. Find us at themediavirus.com, on social media, or download us now from your favorite podcast platform. This episode